Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Big Ten in 10, where we sit down and chat for 10 minutes with past and present Big Ten greats all across all sports. Happy to be joined today by former Nebraska guard and now Husker head coach Amy Gusso Williams. I'm always going to call you Amy Gusso. You know that. So thanks for joining us, Amy.
Thanks, Brenda. Yeah, that's okay. You can call me Gusso. My husband still does too. So
That's perfect. I mean, people, if they've watched me call your games on Big Ten Network, they may know that I was an assistant coach at Nebraska when you walked on to the program. As you think back to that time in your life, why did you choose Nebraska, and what was your thought process why you decided to walk on?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I was offered a pretty hefty academic scholarship to the University of Nebraska, and I had grown up watching big time sports on TV with my dad and my brothers, and the idea of being able to potentially be a part of a program like that. And you know, my freshman year, we played in a tournament at Duke, and I was playing basketball in Cameron Indoor Stadium, where I had watched many games, like with my dad and brothers, like coming through high school, and just the excitement of being able to be a part of big time athletics was really exciting for me. I wanted to know kind of what happened, what was going on behind the scenes, how could I be a part of that. So just blessed and thankful every single day for the opportunity that I got from Coach Beck and you and the rest of that coaching staff, at that moment, to walk on and be a part of that team and have the opportunity in front of me that I was able to take full advantage of, and eventually get a scholarship. And now here I am coaching. It's just an incredible opportunity that I was blessed to take advantage of.
Well, I love to tell the story about you as well as JJ Jurgens coming to walk on. I mean, both of you 5'5" maybe, and with all due respect, maybe not the most athletic players on the team, but the way you worked, the way you communicated, the way that you presented yourself when you had that opportunity to walk on as a coaching staff, there was just no way we weren't going to invite you to be a part of the team. You inspired the rest of the team. What did that process of walking on and becoming part of the team, how did that influence you as a coach?
Well, it influenced me, because it just reconfirmed how work ethic can overcome a lot. And you just don't want to settle for limitations that other people are going to put on you. And I think that people my whole life told me that I was too short, I was too too little, too slow, not athletic enough, and to not allow that to limit me, and to be able to overcome and not only make a roster but earn a scholarship and be a contributing member of a big time program that watched our program grow to the point of NCAA tournament berths and NCAA tournament wins. It just taught me to never let people sell you short, and it's something that has kept me able to believe that I can accomplish whatever I want, even in my profession.
That's awesome. You are such an inspiration. And your dad was a coach, and at Nebraska, you played for two different head coaches, and Angela Beck and Paul Sandiford. But there was also Jeff Walls, who's now the head coach at Louisville, and Michelle Clark Hurd, who's now the head coach at Cincinnati. They were on the staffs. I mean, you've had a lot of different coaches that you played for. What kind of influence did all of those coaches have on your philosophy?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel so blessed when I think about, and at the time, it's a hard, challenging thing to go through a coaching change when you're, a college athlete. You're just so nervous about, is my new coach going to appreciate the same things about me that my old coach did? And, those kinds of emotions. And I know now that I'm in coaching that I was put through that, so I can have a sensitivity to student athletes who are going through the same thing. But certainly it's turned out to be just a blessing. I mean, I've taken so many things from my high school coach that I just am so grateful for, that, lessons. I think Angela Beck, I still do drills that, you guys did with us when I was a student athlete. And when Coach Sandiford came in, there's drills that we do today that that Coach Sandiford brought, and I did as a senior. I feel like I got to play for some great head coaches too here at Nebraska that have influenced my coaching style and my relationships and the way I build relationships and I guess I wouldn't trade that for anything. I just am blessed to have been influenced by great coaches and hope to have that same influence on the young ladies that I get to coach every day.
Yeah, well, you certainly do. And, as you think about now being back coaching at your alma mater, what have been the greatest challenges about it? And what have been the most rewarding things?
Good question, Brenda. I think maybe one of the greatest challenges is that when you've poured your own blood, sweat, and tears into a program, and then we're always motivated and competitive as coaches to want to build our programs. But sometimes when you've sweated for that program, you can get maybe a little too consumed with really wanting to see things go well for your alma mater. And so sometimes I think that is a challenge for me, is to kind of just continue to stay balanced and keep the main thing, and not get, I'm incredibly motivated to want to turn Nebraska into a championship caliber program. And just making sure that doesn't consume my life is one of the toughest challenges. But the greatest thing since being back, without question, is just being back embraced by Husker Nation, and the way that this fan base and the whole entire state of Nebraska just is excited for our program, and just helps with, throwing themselves into recruiting and making the young women that are in our program or want to be a part of this program just know and understand how you'll have a home forever when you're a Husker. And so to be back home, it's just a pretty special feeling.
That's awesome. Well, let's shift gears a little bit. This time that we're living in, since things shut down really in March, is unlike anything of us have ever experienced or would have ever been prepared for. As you think back of this last 8 to 9 months, the greatest challenges maybe, and then I know you like to look at positive sides of things. So what have been the best silver linings in all of this?
Yeah. I think the biggest challenges have really been that anytime you're kind of competitors like us, and we are, for the most part, most coaches, most athletes are preparation freaks and structure, and we've got a schedule and a calendar, and little things like not knowing our schedule next week, that can really throw people who are used to having game schedules mapped out years in advance, and having things planned and prepped and stuff. It can just really kind of throw you off kilter. But I think the silver linings have been many. I think it's provided me personally an opportunity to really connect with my daughters in a way that I sometimes don't have the opportunity to do. And, I know last March, I started kind of thinking, okay, every other day or so, I'm going to let each one of them pick out an activity that we'll do together. And that led to a few more TikToks with my teenager than I probably wanted, or, some things like that. But just that ability to really kind of connect and be at some of their activities, be involved, be at home a little bit more during this time has been an absolute silver lining. And just, in our program sense, a chance to really step back and really invest a little more time with our team, kind of establishing standards for our culture.
Yeah, I knew for sure you would find silver linings, and that is definitely the case, to have that extra time with family. And this has also been a time where there's been an awareness created about the racial injustices that have occurred in our country, in the past, and that we're still currently dealing with. And I know that's something that you care deeply about with your team, and also it's very personal with your family. So, what have you and your team done during this time to address all of that?
Yeah, I think the best thing that we've been able to do together is to just really learn and understand that everybody is really processing things very differently, and that we can continue to be unified even if we're not uniform. And just every player is really embraced a different way for them to really take the stand that they want to take, and being able to understand that we can all be comfortable with the way that people are choosing to be able to handle that. And I think it has been incredibly personal and challenging for me just to really educate and take a step back and learn and be able to talk to my own daughters about just, some of the different ways that people view life, and and for them to to create and have hard conversations, which has not always been easy. And sometimes it's easier to take kind of the, okay, let's not talk about this. But I think the best thing that has come out of this is that it's provided an incredible opportunity for me and my players to really be able to talk about it. Like, let's talk about it. Let's not sweep this away. Let's bring this to the forefront, and let's have conversations that need to be had for my family and the young women that are in our program.
Well, thank you. It's so important to have those hard conversations. This has not been a hard conversation. This has been an easy one. Thank you so much. I could talk to you for a long time. We're going to cut this off at 10, but thank you very much, Amy.
Yeah, thank you, Brenda. Good to see you again.
You too as well. Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of Big Ten in 10.